Welcome back to the halftime show on the PAC Sports Network. We are at the half as Westminster playing host to the Geneva Golden Tornadoes tonight, and we're joined now by Westminster head coach Kevin Siroki. Coach, thanks for being with us.
Oh, it's always great to be here.
Now, Coach, Westminster enters tonight's game tied for third in the PAC with Geneva after back-to-back wins against Waynesburg and Bethany. Involved in a tight race near the top of the PAC standings. Give us your take on the season to this point and where the Titans are at in that tight race.
Well, the league is so everybody can beat anybody on any given night. So every night you got to strap it up and be ready to play. We've as far as our season wise, it's been a lot of it's been a grind. We got some guys hurt, some guys sick, and I guess every team goes through that every year. So, but who's ever playing their best basketball at the end of the year is as the cliche says, and I think we're playing pretty good basketball right now. So hopefully we can continue that.
Some cliches are good ones. They make sense. So playing your best ball at the end of the year certainly makes sense. Now, touching on some of your players that have been a part of the team's success this year, and we'll start with Andrew Clark, the team leader in scoring, steals, blocks, rebounding, and three-pointers. How important is Clark to what the Titans do?
I didn't realize he's doing all those categories, but that means obviously means a lot to us then. But yeah, he's done a great job for us. Just an outstanding kid. But a great leader on the court, especially with all the young guys we have. Has done a great job of leading those guys and bringing them along and teaching them the ropes.
Now, the Titans have had some injuries along the way, but a guy who returned recently from injury after missing most of January is senior Austin O'Hara. How much of a lift is it to have a guy like O'Hara back, especially for the stretch run now?
Yeah, it's definitely big. He's our glue guy, after missing all last year with the hip injury and to have him back this year. And again, it's out for a couple of games with an ankle injury, but now he's back. And I mean, he just gives the lift overall with our just our mentality and have him in street clothes sitting next to us is not a good thing. Having him on the floor is a great thing, especially with all of our young guys. And he's a great leader to our young guys.
Another key veteran, junior Reese Leone, second team all PAC pick last year. He was a PAC newcomer of the year just 2 years ago. What kind of leadership does Leone bring as the point guard?
Yeah, he's obviously me being a former point guard as well, trying to teach him, things that I have little tricks of the trades that I know. And I think he's done a great job for us, for the last 3 years and, continue the rest of this year. And guys, look forward to look at him as a leader and look at him, of the things he's done. And he brings it every day. He's banged up and nicked up and he's battling through a lot of stuff. And I give him a lot of credit for what he's done this year.
And aside from the core veterans, this is a relatively young team, which you've pointed to, and that group continues to get better with every game. On the network, we've seen personally some great performances from freshmen like Troy DePietro, Bobby Ray, and Quincy Jones. How have they been able to make such an instant impact as rookies this season?
Well, yeah, I mean, Trey's done a really good job, and Trey and Bobby, they've done a great job for us. And then Quincy, last couple of games, and all year long, he started out the year and in practice and just really going fast. We're trying to get him to slow down. And obviously he's slowing down and figuring things out. And he'd be a great attribute to us. And he has in the last couple of games. I think he will, the rest of this year and in the next 3 years he'll be here. But Trey and Bobby have been just steady all year long, and again, it's a big grind for those guys as far as freshmen coming out of high school and learning, going to class and doing all them other things that, it's a lot different from high school, and they figured it out real quick. And they're battlers, they're tough guys. They can do a lot of different things. And just like a lot of guys on our team, we got a lot of guys can play different positions, and most guys can play all the different positions. So we have kind of like positionless players, so which is great. Means they can bring Trey at 6'7", brings the ball up the floor. Bobby can handle the ball, shoot the three. Same with Trey. They've done a tremendous job, and they will for the next 3 years as well.
Now, tonight's game, the latest installment of a rivalry that began back in 1897 and carried through some great games back in the NAIA days and now into the PAC. As a former Westminster player and now coach, what's this rivalry like between the Titans and Golden Tornadoes?
Well, I think a lot of people don't realize how big of a rivalry what is and was back then. When we'd walk on the court when I played, place would be sold out at our place or their place, and it was probably the biggest rivalry we had on our schedule when I played. And and now some people just don't go back and all the young guys we have now and things like that. But I try to tell them, believe me, I try to tell them when we played down there That's where I played my last college basketball game at. We got beat in the semifinals in our District 18 tournament. So that has a little spark in my heart every time we play those guys. And love Coach Sarasano, and he does a great job with his team, and he's been around forever. But it's always that big rivalry, and it's always comes down to the last minute or two. I'd say last 4 years, there's never I don't think either team's won by 6 points or more in the last couple of games we played. So every night, especially against Geneva, you got to strap it up, and we got to defend home court, and we've done a great job of that this year. So we're looking forward to the game.
And with only a little over a week left in the regular season at this point, what's Westminster need to do to finish strong and claim a PAC title for the second time in the last 3 years?
Yeah, and we got to take one game at a time, but every game's important, just like everybody else is on their schedule. And again, it's no matter who you're playing, anybody can beat anybody in our league, and it's proven this year. And so got to continue to try to stay healthy, stay away from injuries and sickness, and from there, and just keep playing together. And we got to rebound the basketball, and we've done a way better job of shooting the basketball last couple of games. So we got to continue to do that. And again, and just play together, man. Our guys have done it all year long. They've been great teammates, and they compete every day in practice, and that's the best part about it. Make each other better. And I think in the end, it's last one standing, and I think we got a good chance.
So Westminster head coach Kevin Siroki, Coach, always a pleasure. So thanks so much for your time, and good luck to you and the team the rest of the way.
I really appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
We'll have more coming up in just a moment. Drew Clark joining us for the Westminster Titans here on the Halftime Show on the PAC Sports Network.